Okay, thank you. Well, hello everyone. I'm back. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see all of you again, like last week. Okay, I'm back here at Way Mountain Temple. We just landed Wednesday. I'm back in San Francisco. Took the whole day to clear out the backlog in San Francisco. And then at night we drove back to LA, and it works fine because I'm still on the Korea time zone. Yeah, so last night I had about no sleep at all. Meaning, so it's up until 7. Okay, so that's just life. Okay, how is everyone today? Anyone has anything new or interesting to report, to want to discuss, or to ask questions? Okay, that tells me that no one has been really cultivating here in Los Angeles at all. Because unless you cultivate, you have no problems. You see, that's what happens to worldly people. They're happy, that's why they don't need to cultivate. Right? They're happy, so they indulge themselves. Self-indulgence leads to more pleasures. But cultivation leads to more, shall we say, displeasures about the status quo. Yes? Because we could be better, couldn't we? You're missing out. The people who are not improving. Excuse me, I'm missing out on the joys of being better than yourself. Okay, it doesn't sound very popular here in Los Angeles. But I must admit to you, I'm pleased to see that, of course, Sunday morning I have a report on the trip that was gone on for a month in Korea. So you have to wait until Monday here, Sunday here, our time. But today I came back and I meditated with you, with all of you, and I noticed that people here in Los Angeles and in California have been improving too. I'm very pleased to see that. See some people, now it's so commonplace, it's kind of boring to see the sound hearers everywhere I look. So if you're not a sound hearer, what are you waiting for? Work harder. Plant more blessings. Okay? So I see, first stage arhats. I went to Korea. I saw, someone becoming fourth stage arhat, someone improving from 2 to 3 stage, and so forth. I come back here and I see people joining the sound hearer ranks, meaning first stage arhats. There aren't that many people here today, so you can look among yourselves and see who's a loser. Okay, and then also I'm seeing someone who's fourth stage arhats on the way to enlightenment. Isn't that cool? You guys are so special. So special indeed. Okay, anyone has any questions or things I'd like to discuss? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Master. So happy to have you back home in Los Angeles, California. Welcome home, Master.
Thank you very much, brown noser. You know, a brown noser here, to you foreigners, you know what it means? In the companies here in America, there's a technical word for the people who, how shall we describe a brown noser, Master Xianjie? You know what the term is? Of course. Huh? What's a brown noser? Explain to the non-Americans. Yeah? Why the word brown noser? I never got. Why is it called brown and not like black noser or yellow noser? Why is it? You know why? Peter, go ahead. You must have some ideas. He's giggling uncontrollably.
Yeah, Master. It's because it's a long-standing tradition in America.
Yes.
For employees to bring brownies for their bosses.
No.
And typically
you can't fool me. Did you hear that? I mean, he's trying to confuse us.
I'm just giving the kid-friendly version explanation.
And the R version is?
Well, as opposed to a pastry, it's more in reference to buns.
You got it? You guys online got it? Huh? Non-Americans got it? Non-English speaker get it or not? Who gets it?
I did have a question for you, Master.
He's distracting from the main theme here, brown nosers.
Before my pale face turns too red.
Okay, go ahead.
We had disciples visit Korea, and everyone is raving about the different foods and the talents of all of the cooks and the kitchen staff in the different temples. 감사합니다. 많이 감사합니다. I wanted to ask, though, specifically, did you try the pizza with honey?
I'm glad you asked. This time they did offer it to me, of course. Very proudly, Master, would you like some honey with your pizza? And my answer is, no. In no uncertain terms, my answer is, no. Okay, but so I'm sorry, this time but I still remember how it tastes like, honey tastes like. Any other questions, anyone? The interesting thing to me is that it seems we are at the stage now that, can I say, it's like this thing that I like to share with you, okay, that I noticed, why people have been progressing. Why such people have been progressing? Why some people have been progressing more than others? Yeah, you're all progressing in your own ways. Some slower, some faster. And of course, each individual is different and it depends on where they are. They could go slow and they could go fast, they could go slow again. So it depends. But the one thing that's a common theme is that the temples, our temples are really are special places, not just here in Los Angeles, in Gulf Forest, or in Korea. There's one thing here is that the temples are very special places where people can come and get into a place where they can cultivate without and while being themselves, meaning that some are pretty nasty people, some are pretty friendly, some are kind, some are compassionate, so forth. That's the nature of our temple. We're not homogeneous. Okay, we're all very different, and we encourage individual differences. But for it all to work, is that, let me tell you, you must have enough protection where you can come and you'll be shielded from your karmic obstructions that hinder your progress. That's why every time you come to the temple and you practice at the temple, you're actually receiving a lot more help than you realize. Okay, I just noticed that's why I'm telling you. There's a huge difference. And not just the temple, but also the online classes. You're getting some protection as well. The word is what my mafia friend says. Brother Vito says. Protection, man. So you need that protection. Okay, and that's what it is. The protection of the temple, and the other ingredient is what? Yeah? What's the other ingredient, you think? Yes, Jane?
Thank you, Master. The other two ingredients are sudden teaching and the blessings.
Sudden teaching and what?
Blessings.
Blessings. I see.
Blessing.
Blessings. Okay. Okay, very good. I asked for one, she gave me two. How about three? Yeah. Thank you. You fixed the car, all right? Yeah? No more problems? Oh, okay. You cannot trust those mechanics, Okay, yes. What else? That's true. Blessings and whatever. Sudden teaching, whatever. Yes. The one thing, yes, those are. But the one thing that I'm discovering, for example, today, because I look at this first stage Arhat and this fourth stage Arhat here in California, newly minted, I might say. I mean, not sure when, but I noticed that where they are. And there's one thing. There is this, contrary to ordinary people, these two individuals, for example, I'm sure there are more, but today I noticed two people, that they really admire the Dharma. Ordinary people come in, they say they are special. Newcomers come in, I'm special, teach me, please me. Whereas these two people, they said, well, I'm special, but the temple is more special than me. The teaching is more special than me, because the cultivation will transform you, will help you become a better person. As long as you, inside your little brains, think you're special, that means you're resisting your own improvement. That's the fallacy, that's a mistake that most people make. They think they're special, so they hang on to the special thing. That they're above the teaching, they're above improving. That's why they're not improving. Make sense or not? They're stopping themselves, which is for today's observation. So I noticed I have newcomers here at Dharma Tertiary Temple. I don't know what these people are doing at 6 in the afternoon, Friday afternoon. It's kind of weird. Well, welcome. All three of you right there. Yeah, say hello to them, everyone. Yeah, see, yeah, they look like Korean, no? That's why Samguk Sunim is right there behind them, talking to them in Korean, yes? No? Well, they don't look like, what are they then? What are your ethnicity? We racist here. Hello, yeah, speak up.
Hello, hi.
Yeah, see, let me see. Okay, say no more. What nationality? Let's make a guess.
What is your best guess?
Yeah, on ethnicity, not nationality. We all Americans here. Yeah, the ethnicity, originally.
We're Taiwanese.
Taiwanese. Oh, wow. Wow, we need the better cameras there. It's hard to tell. Well, welcome, Taiwanese. I'm glad you're there. Okay. You see, so that's what you should learn from today's lesson from these two newly minted sound hearers, is that don't stop yourself. You should seek to improve, okay? Become a better person. You can be a better person. I stopped in Taiwan for 10 hours, I'm told. And the last time I was there is 4 years ago, 4 years ago. I went to Taiwan and for a shopping spree, brought some Dharma instruments and some more Buddhist stuff, and brought back with the carry-on luggage. And so I love Taiwan. You know, I was there for about 10 hours, and what did I do? I admit to you, I walked around the night market looking for food. The Taiwanese xiaochu, the snacks are excellent. Okay. But guess what? I walk around the whole night market trying to find some food. Couldn't find anything. Couldn't find anything that's vegetarian, authentic vegetarian. Taiwan is one of the few countries where, unlike Korea, Taiwan has authentic and pure vegetarian food. The restaurants who specialize in vegetarian food only. And they're so good, let me tell you. So after walking for an hour or two, looking feverishly, I bought some snacks like fruits, the guavas and the what is it? I don't know what's the word. The pink thing, the thảo. Huh? Lian something? Lian gu. What's the English word for that? Yeah, the pink thing. It's very good. The guava in Taiwan is very good. Couldn't find any more fruits because time ran out. But anyway, so we're walking around, and then lo and behold, guess what? I gave up and said, okay, let's get out of here because no vegetarian food. It's all carnivore stuff. And then look around, so lo and behold, the very first place on the entry to the night market is a vegetarian little joint. It's about the size of a cart, even smaller than a truck here in California. California, the trend nowadays is to have truck food, right? Okay, so it's about half the size of a truck, and they're making vegetarian food. Okay, and it's so good, let me tell you. A bucket, okay, so the right size for the Taiwanese, they always eat the xiaochu, so the portions are just right for them. Okay, it's about this size here of a bowl. And how much does it cost? Like $2, $3. And it's so good. It's much better than the fancy food at the restaurants here. Anyway, I recommend you go to Taiwan because the food here is excellent. Simple things. Anyway, how do you get into food again? I'm hungry, I guess. Okay. Anything else? Yes, in the back.
Master, did you notice the difference between the people there in Korea and us in America?
The people in Korea versus here or in Taiwan?
The people in here versus people in Korea that you have been observing during the Buddha relics exhibit. Did you see any difference between two of us?
Oh, you all very special. What? What do you want me to say? I only have good things to say today. It depends on my mood. You cultivate, you special. You don't cultivate, you loser. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so why did people improve? Again, let me remind you, we are very lucky in that now the system is such that we have a lot of classes, online classes and locations you can come, and you can practice with us. And you can, in particular, newcomers and even all levels, you get someone who can spend time to handhold you and answer your questions. Why is it happening? Because it never happened to me when I first started. And so I spent 4 years of my, initial 4 years of my life as a monk, confused, totally confused and frustrated. Okay. All I wanted to do was to cultivate and learn and to improve. And no one could do it for me. No one was willing to do it. And so I find it to be a waste of my time, a waste of my life. I'm not happy about that. So since now we're doing this for you, I'm making sure that doesn't happen to you. If you want to practice and you want to improve, you want to improve your health, you want to reduce your stress. Life is so stressful. I see in Korea, people in Korea are so stressed out at all levels, from kids to adults. Went to Taiwan, the Taiwanese are stressed out as well. Okay, actually, the Taiwanese are doing better than 4 years ago. 4 years ago, they were more oppressed. Now, all of a sudden, I came back and I noticed that people were doing better economically, financially. It seems to be the case, not as pressured financially as it was the case 3-4 years ago, at least in the places I hang out at, even night market, and that business were doing better, in a way. That's important to me. If you improve, part of your improvement is that financially you'll be better off as well. Okay? That's part of improvement. The quality of life improves. And that comes with your cultivation, by the way, naturally. And so the difference here in the U.S. too is that I think it's fair to say that the people here are so blessed, like Master YongHua said. He said that a long, long time ago, when I first encountered Mahayana, he said that from his tapes and his teachings, he says that now he addresses his students. He said, all of you who are able to make it here to the United States have blessings. I couldn't quite understand it until now I have a chance to travel more. I went to Europe. I'm going to Europe next week, okay, to follow Master Xuanjie. He's doing a European tour. Master Xuanjie is building a reputation in Europe. The Swiss, American Mahayana, Weiyang teacher. Originally, I'm very proud to tell you, originally I was planning on going to Portugal because I was worried that he needed some support himself. And so I said, well, let's send Xianjie there because he's been working with Portuguese for all this time. And then I realized I had to send someone to go with him. And of course, many people volunteered. So I volunteered myself as well. For some reason, I was chosen. And but the commitment was made before Master Xianjie encountered a certain teaching, and he made it. So I said, no, now he doesn't really need the backup anymore. He can be on his own, and he might go out and leave and found his own temples very soon. You know, you never know. Mm-hmm. And this is our attitude. Whatever makes you happy, go for it. Yeah. We wish you the best. So now that he can be on his own, the plans changed. I committed to going, so I'm going, but I'm more going as a backup role instead of the main attraction. So Master Qianjie, you're the main attraction now. All the pressure is on you. You be teaching the main Chan Qi there, okay? The main hall, you're sitting there. I go to beginner's class. Okay? Hey, you, new people, all of you new people should know that you're lucky that you are able to encounter this Chan technology here from Asia that Master YongHua brought to our country, United States. And we have a track record of training people for the last 16 years. And as a result, people, what you're learning here, please don't take it for granted. You should count your blessings because it's very sound technology. You build a proper foundation for meditation that you can use the rest of your life. Trust me. So even for us, we encourage, we have the technology even for children. Is that how important it is? We encourage children to cross their legs and train with us as well because they're acquiring a skill they can use the rest of their lives. It's very useful, trust me. Someday it will be known that Chan is life. Living is Chan. Chan is necessary for a better quality of life, if you will. Okay? And you find it for yourself. You find out for yourself. Chan will help you become a better person, which will improve your quality of life, personally, professionally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Okay? Everything. You'll be healthier. You'll be less stressed out. You'll be kinder. You'll be more approachable. You'll be more likable. You'll be more lovable. Okay? You'll be more fun to be with. Like Mr. Park, for example, he changed so much. Ask his wife, Mina, are you happy with the changes your husband has been? Yeah? Anyway, so I came back here and noticed that people here are so blessed. We are so much less pressure. Like the Taiwanese, they hustle. The Taiwanese culture, they hustle. Korean culture, they have very high standards, so they put a lot of pressure on themselves. And so much is expected of them. Young generation, children, older generation, and so forth. So a lot of pressure. So the standards are pretty high. The Taiwanese, they hustle, and they're good people. I love Taiwan. I owe a lot to the Taiwanese, to Taiwan, Taiwanese people, Taiwanese Buddhism. And I come back here and I realize that we are so blessed. We are so much freer. We have so many more opportunities. So take advantage of it. All right. All right. Anything else? Anyone like to discuss? I'd like to finish discussing the Wei Yang anecdote that we started last week. There's some more details I think we need to clarify, and that's it. Is it okay? The one last week. Which one was that? Do not enter the yin realm. 114. Okay. For background information, Fridays or Saturdays in Asia is the night where we delve into challenging grounds, challenging territories where we discuss the patriarchs' teachings, how Master Wei Shan trained his students, how he taught his students, and it's a fantastic thing. And I admit to you, I don't quite understand everything, so I find it very challenging. So what we've been doing all this time is that we collectively, all of us, pitch in and try to understand, because there's some Chinese information and Chinese background here we don't have, and so forth. In Chinese language, we're not really the expert, and so forth. But so we try to decipher what Master Wei Shan was doing in order to teach, to train his Chan students. So we're talking about really superior techniques, okay, that we can learn from. For the sake of remind you of the new people, so I'll read it for you again. Master said to YongHua, his disciple, his successor, hey, speak quickly, but do not enter the yin realm. And his disciple YongHua says, I don't even stand on faith. His master said, is that the case? You have faith while not standing on it, or you not have faith and not stand on it? YongHua replied, it's just YongHua, it's just me. It's not about having faith in someone or in anyone. Master Wei Shan said, if so, you are a samadhi nature sound hearer, and I stand corrected. My disciple did the research and says fixed nature sound hearer, that's fine. And YongHua said, I don't stand on Buddha either. So that's typically the incomprehensible exchanges between the Chan masters in China. And let me tell you, this is the first time that we try to explain these types of Chan repartee. Is that repartee, Master Xianjie? What do you call that? The exchange between the Chan masters. Okay, it's very difficult to understand. Okay, but there's really a reason behind all that. Because this is the first time we elaborated in English. I don't think the Chinese even explained that at all. Okay, so we are venturing into no man's land where no one has entered before, like Captain James T. Kirk. Okay, so quickly, Master Wei Shan told his disciple, let me tell you, at this point here, I believe YongHua was just low-level enlightenment, and therefore Master YongHua is trying to bring you up even more, teach him more. You see, as a teacher, he's able to recognize your levels, and he will have to bring you up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Okay? And so, in a Wei-Yang lineage, let me tell you, we're proud of the fact that our teachers are very advanced. Master Xinhua is so advanced. So, because you look at his disciples, you cannot tell from looking at Master Xinhua, but what I can tell is looking at his disciples. Okay? And I say, wow, these people are superior monks, superior nuns. So the Master Wei Shan told his disciple Yang Shan, who's newly enlightened, low-level enlightenment, I would say, and says, speak, but don't enter the yin realm. It means that speak without thinking. Enter yin realm for you. Remember, the yin realm is when you think. When you think, you're in the realm, the yin state. Okay? This is what worldly people have issues. They don't realize. For example, I see lawyers, I see bankers, I see professionals, I see programmers, I see engineers who, when they think, okay, at work, they enter the yin realm. They generate a lot of yin energy. Okay, so that's why they're out of balance. You realize that when we go to work and to make a living, we're exchanging. We are making sacrifices to our mental health, physical health, intellectual health, emotional health by thinking, by processing, and that creates a yin energy. So we become out of whack, out of balance. So, for example, lawyers have high sexual desires because they think too much. Any lawyer? Okay, am I offending any lawyer here? If I did, sayonara, it's nice to know you. Go back to the lawyer thing. I would not mention professors. Just kidding, okay? So not just lawyer professors and so forth, but when you think, you generate yin energy. Yin energy is, can we be blunt about it? Sexual desire. Anyone? So that's why when we become a monk, when we practice Chat, we cut down on the thinking, so we reduce the sexual desire. All right? So it says, speak quickly, don't think. Okay? So this is the teaching. Once you become at that level, you learn not to think. You learn to function without thinking. How's that? How cool is that? Go Forest has a question. Wow, I thought you know everything already about this anecdote. And they still have a question in Go Forest.
Master, I just want to let you know that I sleep for 15 hours.
You said how many hours?
15 hours.
15 hours?
Yes.
Oh, what a special girl. Oh, so proud of you. She's a future Shen Yun dancer. After she learned the Chan skills, she become a Shen Yun, which is externalist dancer. We embrace everyone. We don't say, we're not afraid. Okay, you want to do Shen Yun dancing? Go for it. Be yourself. Follow your passion. Oh, I'm so proud of you, honey. Okay. Very good. Okay, so next. So Yang Shan, being a good student, says, I don't stand on faith. Immediately. Okay? I don't stand on faith. Meaning that what crosses mind as an enlightened person, as someone who has wisdom, is faith. Meaning, just between us, do we have faith like him? He's enlightened because it's faith. You're not enlightened because you don't have faith. Okay, so I says, I don't understand on faith. Okay, so immediately, Master Wei Shan said, is it the case? Do you mean that you have faith but you don't stand on it? Or is it you have no faith and you don't stand on faith either? Okay, meaning what? Let's talk about, we didn't talk about, first of all, faith is an asset. Is if you have blessings, you have faith. Newcomers, don't tell me how come I have a hard time believing and you believing all these things. It's only because your faith is not sufficient because you don't have enough blessings yet. All right? So faith requires blessings. Faith is number one, numero uno among blessings. If you want to create blessings, okay, all the blessings will manifest eventually into faith. Is that clear? Okay, so the Master said, let's talk about faith. You have no faith, or do you stand, or you don't stand on it? What is standing? To stand means to depend on. Okay? Because to stand on, we stand because we stand on firm grounds. We stand on a foundation. Okay? And the point here, which I didn't make last week when we're discussing this, is that faith for superior people is part of their foundation. Okay? Young people, newcomers, non-Buddhists, okay? You should know this. Okay? To live a full life, you must develop faith. Faith in what? Let me tell you. Let me start. Okay? Faith in principles. Yes? This is what our parents try to tell us. Our teachers are not doing a good job doing that. The teachers now focusing on worldly concepts, but they don't put enough emphasis on principles. Principles are the foundations for mankind. Okay? We are human because we stick to human principles. If you don't observe the principle of humanity, then you don't behave like a human being. Okay? What are the principles of human beings? How about goodness? That appeals to you, yes, deep in your heart? Yes? And that's the principle of goodness. And some of you who might, what else do you do? What else? What are the principles you think are important for children? Respect. I can't stress this enough. If you have children, if you're new to learning, not just children alone. If you're learning something new, what's the best way to learn? Is to have someone teach you. You don't need to always have to reinvent the wheel. Yes? So, the best way to learn is to have someone teach you. In order for someone to be willing to teach you, you must be respectful of those people, your future teachers, and be more respectful. So the principles of respectfulness. You respect who? Your teacher. Who is your teacher? Who's your teacher? What, you have to think? What? I can't believe this. Okay? Whoever you want to learn from. I know your answer is already, but you're wrong. Your teacher is whoever you really want to learn from. You have to show respect. Okay, yes, sir. Number 3.
Oh, thank you, Master. I think another important human principle is the option to choose kindness. There's plenty of opportunities to be mean or callous, but to be kind to a person on the street or someone you're driving near or someone in the office that you're working with can go just so far in giving people, helping others have a good day.
Yeah, that's very good. May I paraphrase it? Kindness is sexy. Not funny. God, the Asians are so Puritan. Huh? Puritanic or satanic. No, Puritanic. Okay. So what I mean by sexy is appeal, has sex appeal. No, has appeal, is appealing. We do have a Shen Yun girl here, future Shen Yun girl here. We don't want to corrupt her too much yet. Hey, Shen Yun girl, okay? It's widely appealing. There's nothing that touches your heart as quickly, as easily as kind people, kindness. Yes? Very good. I agree. What else? You see, all those principles that, that when you hear it, say, wow, it makes sense, because that's how I feel. Okay? The general values of goodness, of kindness, generosity, of loyalty, of devotion, loyalty to your friends. All right? So that's why the two things. Here, YongHua, going back to the anecdote, YongHua says, the master says, are we talking about your faith or about your standing? Let's be clear. You mentioned, I don't stand on faith. Is that you don't have faith, or is that, let's talk about faith or standing? So YongHua says, it's neither. It's just me. Okay? So the last week we struggled a little bit about the Chinese, the meaning of the Chinese here. Maybe our new Taiwanese visitors can help us out. Geng xin shay, we couldn't quite figure out what it meant. And the Chinese speaking people last week were sleepy for some reason. So have you thought about it? Have you changed your tune? Have you thought about this? What does it mean? Yeah. So the master says, are we talking about faith? Are we talking about standing? And YongHua says, neither. It's just me. Okay, without thinking. Anyone would like to add anything to this? So you can change it. The Chinese translation is okay. The English translation from Chinese is okay. I think what it means here is that it's not about faith. It's not about anyone, faith in anyone. It's just about me. Okay? Because why? Because he says, speak. You see how good the answer is. The master says, speak, but don't think. So he says, when I spoke to you, it's just me speaking. It's not even about faith, not even about anyone. You got it? We didn't explain this clearly last week. You asked me to speak, so I spoke. It's just me speaking. And I said about faith. I said about standing, but really about me speaking. It's not about faith, not about standing either. Are we making sense to you now? Last week we left this hanging. Okay, Chinese-speaking people criticize me. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell us what we're missing. You got it? Agree, disagree? Yeah. Gen Xin Er Shui here, he says, it's just me, not about faith or believing anyone. You asked me to speak, so I spoke. And the words came out as faith, whatever it came out. Could be gelato, could be Neapolitan pizza. But it's not about gelato, it's not about Neapolitan pizza, it's just about me who spoke, because you asked me to speak without thinking. Does it make sense to you? It's not supposed to make sense to you. Not yet. When you enlighten, then it will make sense to you. If you say, anyone says, yeah, it makes sense to me, you are a liar. Okay? Yeah. This is part of learning. Sometimes you hear something, like a kid, he hear about, you should not lie. And you say, really? Why? Why shouldn't I lie? Of course, they don't understand why, and they're not supposed to lie until we punish them. Right? Until they get in trouble. You see what I mean? And that's when the kids understand they're not supposed to lie. Same thing here. If you're not enlightened yet, you're not supposed to understand this. Okay? But this is what happens at their realms. Okay? It's a lot more than going on than it sounds or what appears to be the case. Okay? So be humble. You're not there yet. Okay? And so the Master said, if it's about you, then you are a fixed nature sound hearer. Okay? And I translate as samadhi nature sound hearer, but Master Xin did the research and he said, no, Master, there's such a thing in Chinese Chan, where it's called in the school, where they say, Ding Xing Sheng Wen, which it refers to. Master Xin, do you have the information for me? You forgot, huh? Okay, we all are really a different time zone, different place, so forgive us. Okay, but basically it says here, in the Chinese literature, Chan literature, it says the sound hearers are called Ding Xing Shen Wen. It refers to the fact that these practitioners may have samadhi power. So that's why they're sound hearers, meaning they are fourth stage arhat. Okay? They're referring to the fourth stage arhat as a Ding Xing nature, certain one, meaning a fourth stage arhat who are stuck. That's why the Ding Xing, Ding is fixed, Xing is nature. So they're stuck, they're no longer improving. And that's meant to be disparaging. They said, if you practice, if you live, never mind about practice. Cultivation to me is to live. Okay? If you live well, you become a better person. We don't understand you're supposed to become a better person, your life will be miserable. Trust me. I can't be more blunt than that. I'm too old to beat around the bush anymore. Okay? So here, Ding Xing Shen Wen here, the fixed nature sound hearer, refers to a fourth stage arhat who are stuck and no longer are improving. Yes? Is there a thing?
The last page has the Chinese.
Okay, for your reference, we can publish it online as well. You feel free to look at this. Okay, there's a school called Fa Xiang Zhong. There's a school there, a school, Chan school there. It says Dharma Marks School. Okay, that name right there tells you they are Mahayana Chan school, not Hinayana Chan school. And they define 5 different kinds of nature. One of nature is Ding Xing nature. Okay, and refers to, I don't care what they say here, it refers when you talk about Ding Xing Shen Wen here, fixed nature Shen Wen here, they refer to 4th stage Arhat, because first stage, second stage, third stage, they're still improving. They still change. They will get better naturally. But 4th stage Arhat, you're not careful, you'll be stuck. You become Ding Xing Shen Wen, meaning your fixed nature, you will no longer improve. Let me repeat for your sake again. Don't ever let it happen to you. You cannot stop yourself from improving. So I can't stress this enough today. Don't stop yourself. Don't make that mistake of stopping yourself from improving. You should always seek to improve, to become a better and better and better. That should be your foundation. Do we agree on that? Don't sell yourself short. You can be so much better. You can be so much happier. You can be such a beautiful person. Okay? So they're talking about the 4th stage Arhat here because they don't know better. They're stuck. And that's why they call this Zung here, the Fa Xiang Zung here, call it the Dharma Mark School. They call that fixed nature. I happen to disagree with them. Okay, that's why I translated for your reference. It's good that you know about this concept of Ding Xing nature. Okay, the fixed nature sound here as which is the original intent of that Fa Xiang Zhong, the school of Dharma marks. However, I feel they misguided because there is no such a thing as a fixed nature sound here. Okay, how can the nature be fixed? Your Buddha nature is not fixed. The Buddha nature is just a Buddha nature. It's not fixed nor unfixed. Okay, it's not fixed nor variable. Okay, so that's why to say that someone who has wisdom like a 4th stage Arhat to be fixed nature is baloney. It's meant to be derogatory to the 4th stage Arhat sound here to wake them up, but it's the wrong way to wake them up. You wake them up, slap them in the face, beat them up. Okay, but to call them like this is not going to help to me. Okay, so that's why I disagree. I would translate it samadhi nature sound here, but it's only because I didn't know of this Fa Xiang Zhong. Okay, and how I read about it from Xian Xin's input, I still disagree with them. That's a wrong way to classify them. There's no such thing as a fixed nature sound here. It's a samadhi nature sound here, meaning that because the nature of their samadhi, they're not careful, it's very difficult for them to continue to improve. But they will improve eventually. They're not fixed. That's my belief. Okay? But what do I know? So be careful. I'm just one person who dares contradict the Chinese wisdom. All right. So the teacher says, if it's only about you, okay, that's all you can think of, then you are a fixed nature sound hearer, meaning that you have some wisdom, I give you have some wisdom, but you erring in Hinayana, Mahayana, what I call Hinayana, Mahayana range, where you have some Mahayana wisdom, but you stuck. Okay? You stuck. You allow yourself to be pigeonholed. You allow yourself to be stuck. So YongHua says, nope, I don't stand on Buddha either. So what he means is that the Master says, so you are a sound hearer level of attempt. And YongHua says, I don't go for Buddhahood either. Okay? So it shows YongHua's potential. Okay? And his understanding, his wisdom. He's at a low level enlightenment, but his interchange here to his teacher tells me that if I were Master Wei Shan, I'd say, this kid has potential. All right? Questions or comments? Does it help? Does it add to last week's or not? I'm sorry to make it difficult for you to compile this, okay? But you need to compile both. You need to combine both of this into this explanation of this particular anecdote last week and this week's. All right? And to keep it simple, don't try to do guesswork. Simply lay out last week and then this week. Okay? Transcribe it. And by the way, in general, we have a ton of materials. I hope that people here in the U.S. and anywhere will be willing to help more the transcription work. We're talking about AI transcription maybe. The objective is to just transcribe and produce materials. Okay, there's no way that you are able to translate 100% of what I mean. It's not possible. Okay, same thing. So it's good, like in my master's temple, in my master's side, where his disciples' translation to English was good enough for mid-range of wisdom, but that's good enough. Okay, that's important. It will never be perfect. Any translation will never be perfect because high-level people will always find holes in our translations, in your translations. So the main attempt in translation, the transcription, the translation part is volume, produce materials. It's good enough, okay, at your level. You cannot fake it. Your translation, your wisdom, your level acts as a filter. There's not much we can do about it, okay? So that's why my master's disciples, because of their level, they filter everything that they translated into English was at best mid-range of Master Hsuan-Hua's teaching. So halfway, that's it. They could not reach higher. Okay? And so that's why it doesn't matter. Don't be too demanding on you need to be the best possible. Volume is what the best way to approach is produce voluminous translations. And so give people, future teachers, future lecturers a chance to have their own spin on what it really means. Okay? All right? All right. Final questions or comments? Okay. Yeah?
Thank you, Master. I'm very impressed with your request for lots of transcriptions and lots of translations. When I was first starting out professionally, I was a bit shocked. I got an opportunity to speak one-on-one with a general manager, and he told me I was nobody. I was very lucky just to speak to him. He said, "Peter, I want a whole lot of C content. I don't want a little bit of A content. I want a whole lot of C content." And I was shocked. But he was very wise to say that because he knew that whatever my A content would be, it would take 10 times as long and be 0.1% better than the C I could produce at that time.
Right. And what you don't realize is that it doesn't matter what you say, what you translate, is there's a magic behind it, and the people who are better than us will see more out of it. We'll decipher a lot more out of in the translation than we realize. Doesn't matter what kind of filter we apply, they will decipher themselves. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, and then plus we also have the original text in English and Chinese and so forth, so that they have multiple sources for reference, for cross references. All right. Yes, Jane. JC, sorry. Kong.
Hello, Master. I have a small suggestion to make about transcription and translation. Often we forget to include our name or dates when we did the transcription or translate. If the people who volunteer to transcribe or translate to include the name and the date, it will be a very good reference in the future.
Why do you need the date or a person?
Because people keep changing every year, and even myself, when I transcribe or translate, we often forget or we don't have the memory when it's been transcribed. So in the future, when we make corrections, it can be a good reference. It's just a suggestion.
You agree or disagree? I happen to disagree. There's no need to put your time and the name, timestamp and your name. It's not that relevant. Doesn't matter at all. We should know that that's our best at that point in time. We continue to evolve, and so do our readers and our listeners and our co-cultivators. So it doesn't matter at all. We are all constantly improving. The same thing that we hear differently later ourselves. Yes, 9.
Reactions.
Master, with the transcription, when they do it, it's actually quicker for them to just put a quick reference timestamp, so if we need to go back, we can find it.
Yeah, you wish, but that's for work in progress or whatever. Okay, but the person name doesn't matter. I mean, ultimately, but for part of the transcription, if it helps you, sure, why not? Anyone else? JC.
성품이 정체되는 곳에서 피하려면 어떻게 되는지 궁금합니다. 성품이 정체되는 곳에서 피하려면 어떻게 해야 되는지 궁금합니다.
So, Master, how do I avoid a samadhi nature sound healer, that state?
Very good. You avoid it by, first thing is that you say, I don't want it. It's not that desirable to me. What happened for a lot of people, especially Hinayana practitioners, they set that as the goal. And you can avoid that predicament by not setting it as your goal, your end goal. As the fourth stage Arhat, an Arhat basically is a temporary destination. This is an important one, but it's a temporary place for you to get there in order for you to be led into much better, much better conditions, much better environments, much better worlds. So don't be satisfied for so little. Okay? So that's what you do. This is the difference between you and the rest of the Hinayana people, is that Hinayana people are taught differently. They're taught fourth stage Arhat, Pratika, Buddha are the end goals. For us, it's not. not. For us, and maybe we put it very bluntly for you, for us, it's too tiny of an achievement to rest your laurels on. It's nothing yet. Okay, it's no big deal. Yeah? There's so many. There are a dime a dozen in our way places. There's too many of them. Okay, it's not a big deal. You go to the Pure Land. The Amitabha Sutra says the 4 stage Arhat are like countless in the Pure Land. And Bodhisattvas too. Bodhisattvas are much higher level than 4 stage Arhat. It's no comparison. If you want an analogy, the level of 4 stage Arhat wisdom is about of a bubble. And that of a Bodhisattva, even at Yang Shan's level, the anecdote, is that of the ocean, of an ocean. There's no comparison. Okay, so there's so little to be satisfied with. Okay, so don't worry. You, because you're listening to this, you have this aversion. You say, hey, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to be stuck there. That's all what it takes. And then number 2, better yet, you follow the teaching and you will rise above it. Okay? We are not, because our teaching is that we want more, we want better. We want more and more and more and more. We're greedy. Okay? We want to do more. We want to experience far greater things and do far greater things that we're capable of. Because why? Because I told you so. Don't sell yourself short. Yes, you can. Okay? Yes, you can. Wow, that's another Dharma glimpse that people keep mentioning. Yes, you can. Yes. DTT.
Master, so some of us are also working on books. Basically, we are compiling the transcriptions into books. Would you also like us to keep the editing of books to a minimum?
Books, I don't know, editing is kind of tricky, but if you feel like, because I digress a lot, I get confused a lot during the lecture, so for you to transcribe everything would be too disorienting. I talk about from pizza to snacks in Taipei City night market. So how are you gonna weigh which one is important or not? And so I don't know how to handle it, honestly. I have no interest in handling, because my job is not to produce material. My job is to gap away, entertain you until you become enlightened. I feel that's the most important part of my job. It doesn't matter, okay? So if I propose, I don't know if it makes sense to you, I propose that one of you says, I'm going to do Vajra Sutra, and you do whatever you want to do with it. Okay? And someone says, I don't like it, and then do your own version. Okay? Because I am not going to revisit it. I have no interest in revisiting whatever I said. Because if I revisit them, I say, what kind of nonsense is this? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Strike that, erase that. Okay? I'm wishy-washy, in case you haven't found out yet, haven't understood yet. I change my mind constantly. Because you're improving. You're such a better person now. I can't talk to you like I talked to you 4 years ago. Huh? It's not right. Like when Shen Yun's a girl in 4 years, I can't talk to her like the way I talk to her today. Huh? She'll be a dancer. All right. Thank you, everyone. Yeah?
So, Master, following up with Ray's question, so will you give your stamp of approval once the book is finished, or no?
So I approve anything you want me to. Just give me food and that's it. I can't care less. I just told you. I just produce materials, whoever wants to do with it, do AI, do fake, deep fake, whatever. I can't care less. I'm done. Okay? So you choose. I don't care. You know, the Vietnamese have their own spin, Taiwanese have their own spin, Koreans say, no, we're Korean. This is how we're going to interpret it. Yes, 9.
Master, you told me to keep everything because you have a purpose for everything you say.
Well, it's a repository is there. Okay, so we transcribe everything, and someone says, you know, this is what I like about this. Extract whatever you like. I can't care less. Okay? And you say, and someone says, I'm going to have my own religions based on this thing here. That's good enough. That's not confuse the rest of the world. Fine, go for it. I really don't care. 3. Honestly, I'm done. Don't make me go back and say, Master, what do you mean by this? I say, can I strike that? Can I redo it? Then I will have time to do more new stuff. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. Two quick comments. Number 1, for everyone who isn't aware, YouTube already transcribes everything. And we have access to that. So if you want a starting point for your transcriptions, please ask, and we will provide the YouTube transcription.
Excellent. And number 2?
For your birthday, I'm thinking of getting you a rubber stamp for approvals.
Yes, anyone else? Yes? No? 9.
If you want transcriptions, you can contact Peter.
There you go. You want transcription? Contact Peter. Okay? And if you want an official stamp, make your own stamp. Okay, thank you, everyone. See you next time.